What if I told you the most painful moment in The Last of Us season 2, episode 6 wasn't about clickers, it wasn't about death, it was about love. This idea that if you love somebody and you protect them so much, you actually destroy them. In the next couple of minutes, I'm going to go through the episode The Price and break it down from a filmmaker's perspective. And this isn't just storytelling that makes you want to keep watching, it's storytelling that makes you think, what would I do? Right? So, on a personal note, the part that really struck me was the flashback to Joel's life when he was younger. We saw him and Tommy as teenagers, and their dad. We meet their dad, and he's a cop, and he's abusive to them, physically abusive. And there was a line that was so powerful in that where the dad tells Joel, he says, the dad's tearing up, and he says, "I'm trying the best I can, and I hope that you do a little bit better than I did," right? And as a son, I think that my dad tried the best he could. He tried the best he could with the tools that he had, right? Was he a perfect dad? No, nobody's perfect. Humans are humans, but he did try the best he could. And I think that, he grew up in a farm in Mexico. He had to do farm work before he went to school. And, discipline was totally different back then. So he grew up a certain way. And when he was raising me and my siblings, they never hit us. My mom and dad never hit us. So he was trying to do just a little bit better than his parents did, right? Now I'm a father and I'm trying to do the same things, trying to learn from everything that my dad gave me and trying to do a little bit better. My hope is that my son then goes and does a little bit better than what I'm doing for him. And that's why that scene was so powerful, because as a son and as a parent, as a dad specifically, that really, really hit a chord with me. So I think one of the big themes that could really cause a lot of trouble in our lives is this idea of not speaking your truth, not speaking up when you need to. You see it with Ellie, that she's been waiting to tell Joel this whole time, to ask him what really happened in Salt Lake. She really wants to know because it's eating away at her, even though I think we know that she knows. I think she understands, she knows what happened. She just wants to hear the truth, right, from Joel. And we also see it in Eugene, played by Joey Sox. He wants to talk to Gail before he passes away, before it's too late. And so he has this regret probably of not being able to tell her, his truth before he passes, or all the things that he missed telling her. And he even says, I want to hear from her, right? He probably, maybe he left that day and he didn't say goodbye or give her a kiss or hug her. And now he will never get that chance again. So those are two things that I think you can see the theme of that played parallel. And I think they did it beautifully in the episode. From a life perspective, I think that this was a lot about gratitude, especially in the sort of happier parts of the episode where we're seeing the birthday progression happening, where Joel gets her cake and, she's a little out of it because she was burning her arm so that she can wear short sleeves again. And they have this really beautiful moment. She was a little high, but they hug, and he's doing all these beautiful things. He takes her to go to a museum, which for most people, a museum is something that you can just go and do, right? But for them in that world, this was like such a huge deal. They don't have the ability to just say, hey, today we're gonna just go to a museum. And Joel gives her that. She gets to ride that dinosaur, and we've seen that dinosaur theme in other being hinted in other episodes, and I think that's also a part of the game. And when they see the planetarium, I think they said that the set that they built, they put a bunch of rhinestones from like the dollar store all around, and that's what gave it that really cool effect when they were walking through that hallway and seeing the Ori, I don't know what that's called, but it's the planets going in the way they go around the sun was really cool. And then that amazing scene where Ellie's pretending to be an astronaut, and the production done with that, where they had to have these lights that were manually choreographed by two sets of people to make it seem like she was just there in real time, which was so beautifully done. Give Pascal the Emmy. That single tear of happiness when he sort of goes to the side and you see the reflection from the light. Oh, I'm getting chills just thinking about it now. just such an amazing job. This is going to be his last episode. He will no longer be featured anymore. If you look at the after episode featurette that they did, you can see they're thanking him, and it was a really emotional time because he was not going to be a part of the series anymore. Um, so I think this episode also has to do with the hard truth of honesty. If Joel had been honest from the front and said, "Look, I cannot bear living my life without you. So I did what I had to do in Salt Lake to save you." Things may have been different. Ellie may not have been so torn. They may have had a better relationship before Joel was killed, right, by Abby. But instead, he chose to build this sort of house of lies. And I think every single one of us has been in the situation where we haven't told the truth. We wish we did. And you're trying to hold up all these lies and they just come tumbling down. And that's what happens in the porch scene, where Ellie finally gets the courage to hear the truth straight from Joel, and there's the back and forth where he finally admits the ultimate truth with that honesty. And again, I think it even goes with Ellie. She was not being honest with herself. She was not being truly honest with herself, because at any point she could have said, "I know that you did this and you need to tell me the truth now," but it took her a long time to get that out of her mouth and for her to absorb all the things that were happening. And I think we see later on after that why she's sort of embracing this sort of nightmare sort of darkness inside her, because she knew she didn't really care. She just wanted Joel to be truthful. And Joel killing Eugene was the tipping point. She finally saw all the cracks in the relationship and she'd had enough. She told the truth to Gail, which was so heartbreaking to see Gail. And now we understand why she says what she says at the beginning of the season, where she tells Joel, "You killed Eugene." It was very confusing. I didn't know what was going on, but now we know, right? So I think the shift comes, that's something that's really difficult, is sometimes when we love something, we have to let it go, right? You can see that Joel was trying to be really controlling, especially when Ellie was getting rebellious. As a teenager, she's getting tattoos, making out with girls, and he was trying to be this protector, but he was actually, it came off as controlling. And Ellie, the more he tried to control, the more she pushed away. And he actually did, I thought he did a pretty good job as a parent, sort of saying, "Okay, I see what you're going for. We're going to give you some space. You can move into the garage," things like that. But letting go is such a big deal, and it's so difficult to do, especially with someone you love, or especially for me, like I said, with children. It's something where they love you, and eventually you're going to have to let them fly and become the person that they were meant to be. And I think that Joel didn't want that to happen, and he fought it off for a really long time. But Ellie's going to be who she's going to be. She's going to be this amazing, talented, grumpy sort of badass that she is, right? And he's either going to accept it or he's going to have to fight it. It was really nice to see that before he passed, they did have that conversation. I don't think they really showed anything after that, how much they talked about things, or if they had any other nice moments before he ended up passing away. And so going back to this fear of losing control, I think that that is such a big theme within this series, where you try to control so many things and all of a sudden this infected comes out, bites you, and then it's done, right? So you can't really control things. It's really hard, because the more you try to fight for control, the more things get out of hand and get out of your control. So going to the flow, to the best that you can, right? Especially in a world with all these infected, is what you are striving for as a human being, is what I'm striving for. I'll speak for myself. I'm striving for that as a human being, less control and more flow, right? So the core message is, for me, is this idea that we can be a hero and we can be a villain. And I think that's okay to understand that we can be two sides, and sometimes it merges, sometimes it blurs. But you see that with both Joel and Ellie. Joel is a hero in a way for everything that he's done for Ellie, but then he's also the villain because he cost humanity everything. There could have been a cure. Um, Ellie now feels like her purpose has been taken away from her, and that's such a difficult thing to think about. Like, our purpose was taken away from us by someone else. We had no decision in that, no choice in that. So that makes him the villain, right? And then with Ellie is the same thing. She's now a hero because she's sort of having to take over the Joel role, but then she's also the villain because she's torturing people and doing anything she can just to get at Abby, losing sight of everything else, including her love for Dina. And I think the strength that comes from all of this is already inside a lot of us. So this strength to be a good son or a good daughter or a good father or a good mother, the strength to love things but not hold on to them so tightly that they want to escape. Gratitude, being grateful for all the little things that we get to do. I know it's a show and it's fake, but still it's like you get to live with gratitude. You see all the things that made them happy, a cake, and we take so many things for granted. I take so many things for granted. And so it's really great to be able to know that that's inside me. I just have to sort of switch something. And yeah, I mean, I think this is a great episode. I can't wait to see the next episode. I think what I would say is go out and really try to um, embody these things to the best that you can. Your strength, your love, your gratitude, all of these things, they're already inside you. You just have to sort of show them. And yes, this is a written show, it's a scripted show, but maybe we can learn a little bit something from that. So if you like this video, please hit subscribe, hit like, share it with someone else. I really appreciate it. Thanks.